Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, schematic. Hey, Q. Gonna see who's gonna show up. See if the conservatives show up because they are in my comment section. Brian, Will, what's going on? Any of the conservatives that feel some kind of way about the Limey video I put out? Because they have a whole lot to say. So I'm see if they're gonna show up. Especially this dude, Jay, what is this? Jay something or another. Find out the dude's name. Should have put his name in it. He ain't gonna show up, but why ain't put his name on it? Because I have a whole bunch of them filling up my comment section. Let's see, what is this dude's name? See, when they get tired of me talking about women, I start talking about real stuff. I start talking about real stuff, and all of a sudden I get all this crap. Hey, Simply Deep, what's going on? Yeah, the fire bike will be stripped. Yeah. And see who's going to see how many hey Tareen, what's going on? See if these conservatives that are in my comment section actually going to show up. So in the meantime, oh, okay. Oh, what I was saying on Discord, I can't remember what I was saying on Discord where I logged off. I come back and check my comment section, and I got all these people that all these people I have to check into because the comment section kind of exploded. Oh, the military. When you're young, man, it's best to do if you're gonna do it now, and while you're still young. Oh, ABL's not gonna show up, man, but he's not the one. ABL knows his lane. Thanks, Danielle. Appreciate it. No, I'm just well, given the conservatives, as they call them, because they think I'm a Marxist, a socialist Marxist liberal. Q James, what's happening? Oh, Mr. Research? Hell no. Oh, he might. Who knows? No, well, it depends on the conservative. As far as the UBI, it depends on the conservatives because Charles Murray is actually for it. There's a lot of conservatives actually for it. You hear the lower level so-called conservatives don't like it. In fact, a lot of your Marxists don't like it. They don't like the UBI either. So it's not even yeah. Well, they try to say I'm a commie. Most people don't know what a commie actually is. Well, they don't think so. I'm an amoral pragmatist. neither left nor right. In fact, I get in trouble with the left and the right because the left thinks I'm too far hard on the females, and the conservatives that think they're conservatives. Uh, well, actually, the conservatives that think they're conservatives are actually delusional. That's been the negative birth rates. They've been talking about that for a long time. In fact, in fact, I did play a video about it, about the demographic decline and what Europe was actually doing about it. I can't remember exactly what video it was. I have to go look back in my archives. But actually, I play videos on demographics all the time. Y'all don't look at them. The stuff is there. You guys just don't look at it. So when I actually include it in a video, I'm waiting for them to come in. Any conservatives that are out there that didn't like the Limey video or the Coonslayer video or any of that kind of stuff, those are the cats I'm waiting on because they want to type, especially the cat that put the thumbs down. I want to talk to him. Why he declined 2 days ago. I put a video. I put up a video about demographics. Like two or three. In fact, Yale did a whole. There's a whole Yale series that talks about nothing but demographics. Nothing. The professor did a whole course. I think it's like 13 videos, an hour each, talk about nothing but demographics. And there's one we talk about the demographic shift, the demographic decline. And he had one guest professor on talking about what they were actually doing to show up the demographic decline. I've actually done Quigley videos on demographics. I've done videos on demographics for 5 years. I don't put them out a lot because nobody really looks at them. Actually, in fact, there's a whole. I think I actually put it up here. I actually put it on my MikTok channel. I did about 5 straight videos talking about demographics and why they're important. And actually tell you if you actually put in what is it a pyramid, a population pyramid of any country, it actually shows you demographic shape, and that aligns to where they are in your industrial cycle because demographics actually measure your industrial cycle as far as population wise. Goes all the way from a triangle, a pyramid. I mean, a straight triangle pyramid to a reverse pyramid or the snow cone shape. If you're on the waning side, like Japan, South Korea, a lot of that stuff, and there's a lot of things that actually go into why there's a demographic shift, and it just depends on your level of industrialization because your industrialization actually changes your environment, which changes the fertility rates. That's like when they did the mouse utopia. The mouse utopia wasn't just about mice; it was about how do biological creatures respond in an urban environment. So mouse utopia was actually there to actually simulate an urban environment. And what they found out was after so many generations, the cycle they actually started to die out because the population actually started to wane. So if you look at Mouse Utopia, it gives you a good idea what the demographic cycles out is about as far as um, industrial environment. Because the environment we live in is not natural; it's artificial. It's man-made. And if we actually stripped all this stuff down, then we go back to our normal cycle where you have high infant mortality and high old folk mortality. You have the stable folks that survive in the middle. You saw that debate on what, Mafa 21? No, UBI is geared toward because they're gonna basically if you understand what a debt jubilee is, and that's what I think they're planning for, because there's no way that this amount of debt can be stripped off. They've tried it for 10 years and they haven't been successful. So the UBI is there just in case, and I think the UBI is going to be that. How do you keep people alive or keep them getting paid or whatever? If you're going to actually do three things: automate. Um, Two things you're going to have if you're going to automate and had a debt jubilee. How, and if there's no jobs, how do people survive? Do you want people? Do you because people aren't going to stand for it, they're actually going to turn over the system. So how to keep this chaos from happening? So basically, a UBI, you're going to have a debt jubilee, you're going to have a UBI, and basically you're going to have some kind of population control where actually people start because actually if you change the environment, people will females will naturally start producing less, and over 3 generations you'll start actually you're going to start to see a decline immediately. But I'm saying is over 3 generations you're going to get a stable population, whatever that is. Hey Taria, what's going on? Yeah, because it's important to them. Europe is screaming about negative birth rates. Why do you think they imported so many people? Why do you think there's 200,000? Why do you think they're keeping 200,000 children and not the adults? Nobody ever asked that question. Why are they keeping the children and not the adults? It depends. ABL or me depends on what we're talking about. Depends on what kind of mood I am. If I'm in a foul mood, I'll start telling the truth because I don't give a shit. Yeah, that's gonna happen, Captain James. That's something we nobody's want to talk about, which is human 2.0. You can start looking more like Matrix babies, and human beings 2.0 when start embedding the chips into you, putting you, creating you artificially, and then putting the chips inside of you. It's going to affect everything. But the thing is, they're not worried about student debt. What they're worried about is retirement and Social Security and old folks. That's what they're worried about. Sub Lowcast. No, no, the black community is not a mouse utopia. Urban white people are mostly like the mouse utopia. They're actually responding to the mouse utopia more. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you're in an urban environment, you're going to respond the same way. Black folks seem to be, since black females have a higher resistance to those forces, they actually still have a higher birth rate. The only thing that's keeping the black birth rate down is abortion. Condoms by the men and abortion. Otherwise, the black birth rate will still be at 3, where it was 140 years ago. It's the white birth rate that has actually crashed. Transhumanism. Oh, that's going to happen. That's obvious. What would you do if you had the power and you were going to build a human being? Think about science. What has science created that hasn't actually been tried or done? It's not going to be just genetics. There's actually going to be chips. They're going to put chips inside your babies within 2 generations. I do predict. I didn't get Taria's last question. She asked a question. Low. Well, there's been low. Actually, the low unemployment rate is actually a myth. They're not counting people. It's actually better because Obama and Trump actually pushed the illegal what they call illegal the immigrant labor out. And I'm sure the Klan brought his grandma Christmas gifts because she probably worked for them. Any suggested reading for what? CRU. What are you trying to read? Uh, because that's low caste. They believe black people ain't shit. It's because that's what they've been sold for 200 years. What do you expect them to believe? We believe it too. That's like we don't. support our own businesses because we don't think they're any good because we have been brainwashed by the school system over the past 100 years. So just like the doll test, we believe black people are lesser. That's what the doll test is for. You don't need well, you if you're producing well, Africa is something else. The thing is, it's a projection. Anything 2050 is what this is 2020. 2050 is a generation and a half. I say 2 generations before you start seeing human ships. But Africa won't be there because they won't be as industrialized. They might not be industrialized enough. And Africa actually needs people, so they probably not don't need to do that. We've talked about reparations many, 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 many times. We talked about it many, many, many times. Black folks don't want to hear that shit. Black folks want something free without effort. So we're not going to talk reparations. Hey, Malika, what's going on? Where's Charles Merchant? That's another motherfucker I wanted to holler at before I block his ass again for the second time. Now there won't be if there's a World War III, nobody's going to survive. Well, basically, the white world order is over. They know that. So they're trying to hold on to the pieces that they have. They're trying to strike the best deal that they can right now. Yeah, there's certain criteria that they count people as on the unemployment rolls. In fact, the what is it called? The Bureau of Labor Statistics talking about. I think it's called in the workforce. I'm trying to remember the name of the stat. That actually is more accurate than unemployment. Yeah, well, China's been in Africa for the last 20 years. Chocolate City info. So what? No, he don't want any smoke, man. In fact, I left him alone because Cerulean told me to let him breathe. So I left him alone. No, I put up some videos and a lot of my conservatives didn't get a chance to have some smoke with me. So I open up a hangout so they can have some smoke. They can get on instead of and save their fingers from typing. I doubt there will be. You never know. You can never say never. China will make Africa be an industry. What are you talking about, bro? You got to make that make sense to me. Yeah, versus who's not looking for work. Workforce participation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Keith. Neon Eyes, what's going on, baby? Yeah, the economists, yeah, the workforce, yeah, workforce participation is actually much, much more accurate than anything else because they count the number of jobs and the population, and then that's how they, in each segment, and that's how they figure out who's doing what, who's actually working, and versus who's not working. That's actually much more accurate because unemployment is a whole bunch of other shit. Conservatives in the House, where y'all at? You got two downvotes. At least got to be two of you. Okay, Saccharin states that have KK neo-Nazi leaks. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, they're bold now because Trump is in office. That stuff never went away. Actually, it was actually trying to spark up during Sarah Palin. In fact, there's a very good movie called Falling Down back in I think it was early '90s or late '80s. They talk about the angry white male. They were talking about it way back then. So they've been around. You actually go back and read the Turner Diaries. They've never gone away. In fact, the government's more afraid of them than they are black folks. China is in not there. China is in Africa for resources, not women. It's a it's actually it's strategic. It's for business. It's for strategies. For a whole bunch of other things. It's actually a complex thing. Africa is just part of it. What is the subject? I don't want to be cut off. Just calling any conservatives. What we, I have a lot of conservatives that think I'm a leftist. They think I'm a communist. They think I'm a socialist. They think I'm a liberal. And I put up a video about folks jumping the fence and throwing rocks back on the other side. They have issue with it. So I'm saying is, if you're here, oh yeah, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were talking a lot of shit about me. I mean, I still stand because they don't want to because they don't want me to unleash on them. They don't want me to unleash on them what they think they're doing because they believe they're safe until this shit turns left. Because they think that the American government can protect them. When the American government can't even protect itself because the American government, the United States could break up within 10 years if shit goes wrong. They run out of money, shit goes wrong. You won't have 50 states, okay? In the United States, you're going to have different zones and they will break up and they will separate. Texas and California and a few other states are already ready to go. If there ain't no money to hold them and they don't think it's going to be beneficial to them to stay in the United States, they're going to split. The United States won't have any money to hold them. No, they go where it's safe. Only, yeah, it could. I mean, if shit goes left, 10 years and 10 years is um, 10 years is relative. They're not we're not third world yet, but we're here. But we have signs of it being third world. But they've been talking about global rebalancing, man, since when as I read that article. Global rebalancing, it was back in I think it was 2009, maybe. A lot of this stuff I don't put up because you guys ain't gonna listen to it anyway. So a whole bunch of stuff I could put up, y'all ain't gonna listen to. So I don't even put it up. So I put up maybe hell, I used to put up 10%. I put up maybe 5% now. I put up little bitty innocuous stuff and people flip out. I mean little bitty stuff. Yeah, after I've explained it. You put up something about immigrants and black people flip out. What you flipping out over immigrants for? What happened to Grand Columbia, USR? Oh yeah. Oh, they are. Yeah. What's going to happen to EU? Is going to break up. No, China doesn't have the one child policy anymore. They did away with that about 10 years ago. What I said, the vast majority of you guys don't listen to this shit. I put up stuff. The vast majority of you guys don't listen to this stuff. So and when I put up stuff that's not even controversial, they flip out. I put up obvious stuff. I'll give you one example, like the immigration about the unattended children. I actually explained it because that actually fits into the demographics. People think that Trump is actually going to send them children home. They're not. They're going to keep them. I told you why they're going to keep them. Now they say that the parents have the option they supposedly have the option of being deported with their kids, which I doubt there's going to be an option. They don't want the parents. They don't want the same problem that the Europe has. They don't need the labor right now. They got enough labor, adult labor. What they don't have is enough children. When the population gets old, they have people to replace the young workers. They don't have that. So what do you need? If you need to replace young workers, do you need adults that are 20, 30 years old? No, you need children that are under 18 years old, because those are the ones that's going to fill in the gaps for your low birth rate. That's what I was trying to say. Maybe well, you know what? I apologize. I'm actually going to start spelling it out, just like I'm talking to my grandson. I'm going to start just spelling it out. Me reading an article and then doing commentary at the end is not doing any good. I need to spell it out 100%. I need to put it in very simple terms. Because I see, because I know for the people that actually follow me, you guys probably understand it because you've been following me along the way. That's why I put the articles up instead of smashing it into one group. I'm allowing you guys to follow me through the journey. Yeah, he probably isn't. The thing is that he doesn't have enough. He don't have very many moves anyway, so it really doesn't matter. There's only so much he can do. No, they're actually not Mexican kids. They're actually from Central America. Mexico has a population problem. They're not, they have a low birth rate. They're not sending kids up anymore. That's how come they have to go all the way down to Central America to get them. They got Mexicans already, but the Mexico. If last I saw, Mexico birth rate was fairly low. It's like below. I think it was like either two or below. They can't afford to have their citizens leave, so you have a lot of Central Americans, Nicaraguans, Guatemalans, uh, some Panamanians, those kind of folks. They still have a high birth rate, so they're getting those kids. Um, yeah. The thing is they need kids. See, what the thing is they don't need adults because adults are hard to culturalize. What they need is children because now it's a practical matter. It has nothing to do with race. So all that when it comes to survival, the survival of your culture, race is going to go out the window. Joseph Kabila. In fact, Joseph is probably after 20 some odd years of going through this, he's probably very wise about doing business, and he's trying to bring China in right. He's trying to get the best deal for his people. Last I read about him, they still have the highest birth rate for whatever reason. Black women are the most resistant to the artificial environment. They're actually more flexible. So whatever that is, because I was just looking at the Korean birth rate. Korean birth rate in 1970 was 4 or 5. It's now for women, it's now 1.3, and this is in 40 years. That's a huge shift. It's a huge shift in less than in 40 years. It's a huge shift. Mobutu was a better. Well, I don't know. I can't argue because I've never been to Congo, so I don't know. Mobutu was more Western friendly. So if your mother was on the other side, it depends on what side of the plate that you're on, if you or side of the fence you're on, whether you love or hate one particular leader. Um, yeah, but they're gonna, yeah, but you know how Europe is, man. Europe, the only reason Europe is still held together is because Pax Americana. Basically, NATO is basically holding Europe together. Once if NATO actually left, Europe would actually go back to fighting each other. In fact, I heard so many economists saying that Europe's going to break up. There's one guy called V, the guerrilla economist. I actually going to find it and play him. A lot. I think abortion plays a big role, but I think condoms, believe it or not, condoms play in the black community. Believe it, condoms play a bigger role than the birth rate than abortion does. I spoke on Gaddafi many times, and always gets me in trouble. So I'm not going to speak on him today. Maybe one day I'll actually do I've done it many times, but if I'm going to do it anymore in the future, I'll actually do one for Patreon. But if I can if I can find the videos, the hangouts that actually spoke on it, I'll actually point you to it. CRU, because I must have over the past 2 years, I must have spoken on Gaddafi about at least 20 times, and Gaddafi and how he was taken out. Actually, he was taken out for France. Yeah, yeah. Basically, it follows the same pattern. Human beings. It follows the exact same pattern all over the world. Yeah, of course, China is in Africa to help China, but China has to do certain things if it wants access to the resources and other things. The African countries in Africa are not allowing China in just because they like China. What are you talking about? The Golden Eagle? I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Some of it, yes. Um, Actually, yes. And once I complete, I actually need to work on the book study and finish the book study. I'm actually working on a Patreon. There's a lot of stuff I need to dump on Patreon. That's more of a master class than anything else. So, but well, unfortunately, this channel keeps me real busy. At least two or three channels keep me real busy. So I don't have as much time. Once I get, once I get over this beef shit, because there's a lot of beefing with people back and forth, it's kind of taking up a lot of time, and I need to work on other shit. Nope, the low birth rates are not why they're promoting interracial dating because they want you to assimilate and admix, so they to get rid of the black community. It's not to They're not promoting interracial dating because of low birth rates. It has nothing to do with it. Thanks, Neon Eyes. Appreciate it. Ah, there you are. Typhoon the Reaper. Bring your ass in here. Bring your ass in here. You one of them. Um, Unfortunately, we'll see our CRU royalty. When you get a channel, then you'll know. Well, they can call them whatever they want, but they're basically their country allows them in for the same reason they allow everybody else in because they have a low birth rate. If the Italians want black folks out of the country, they need to start having babies. That's not true. Prisoners to work, they don't care. They're labor. One, they don't care. Plus, they also bring in engineers and technology. So it doesn't matter. It's called the devil's bargain, Michael Murray. You want to develop. Europe's not going to develop you. How do you develop? Or you want to stay developing continent forever? It's the price of doing business. You sure can. No, no. Well, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link. Yeah. You say, bring your ass in here. There's a comment that you made a while back. Remember the comment you made in the comment section? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I've been telling you that. I'm going to drop the link for you, bruh. If you've been Typhoon the Reaper, how many times you been in my hangout? How many times you been in my hangout? You guys, why you guys all always ask the same questions, and I do the same thing every week. It's not like I have one hangout every once a year. I have the hangout every week. I have two hangouts a week, sometimes three or four. I do the same thing every time. I want the folks. I want the cats filling up my comment section to bring their ass in here. That's what I want. Because this is their opportunity. Europe is not. What distribution also there until they decline. It's going to be a financial hub and a technology hub because they still have technology. They're still a first world country. They still have brain power. Now, until that equalizes, they still have cachet. Now, how long they're going to have that? That's undetermined because Africa is going to catch up in 30 years to where Europe is. They're going to catch up. In fact, they're basically going to surpass them in population, and they're going to actually catch up with them in technology, and that's what they're worried about. So now Europe wants to make friends with Africa after uh, leaning on them and basically restricting their growth for 200 years. Now they want to be friends with them because they have to, because they can't it can't be stopped. Uh, it doesn't matter whether the U.S. allies with Russia or not. In fact, Russia really doesn't want to ally with the U.S. because the U.S. raped Russia. Charles Soros and a bunch of others actually raped Russia in the 90s after Russia took down the wall and allowed capitalism to come in, and then for the 6 or 7, well, actually 6 or 7 years, 8 years, basically, U.S. came in and raped Russia. They don't trust Russia doesn't trust the U.S. because they've already been fucked by the U.S. and Europe, and everybody knows it. Of course, African culture is way stronger there than here because our culture is broken, Wilsonian. Their culture is intact. Go down to the natives in Colombia where you were. Their culture is intact. Ours isn't. In fact, it's questionable where we have one, but it's broken, which is something they've been saying for the last 150 years, and nobody wants to listen, especially black folks. Black folks say we're fine. They're going to help. They're already helping them, Daryl, in China. In fact, they're building trains and subways and all kind of shit in Africa right now, ports and bridges, all kind of crap in Africa. Going on right now in East Africa. That's been going on since 2013. Last 5 years, they've been building like gangbusters. Oh, you're speaking to the other brother. Okay. How long? Oh, you can always trade the financial markets. It's just how you play it. Forex, stocks, bonds, you can always play it. It's worldwide. You can always play it. There's always a trade. As long as they trade money, you can always trade it. Just where? Forex can always be traded. The money's not going away. And when that runs out, you can trade Bitcoin in currencies, in cryptocurrencies. The market is not going away, and the rules apply. I did not see the movie for Generational Wealth. I didn't see the trailer. I can't see everything. I'm behind on my reading, so I'm playing catch up. Of course, they're bringing their military, Michael Murray. What do you expect? Use your brain. What would you do? You guys think with your emotions too much. You're going to put $150 billion into a continent and not bring your military to actually protect it? Come on, man. Of course, they're up to date. They're new. What you gonna build old technology into a port? The only way Africa will its country if China helps them. What are you talking about, Daryl J? Don't get you. Tighten up your English. It works. Just depend. Yeah, where has that ever worked, Jonathan? Oh, okay. You're talking to him. Anyway, so I'm not gonna get too many takers. I didn't think I would. Yeah, as far as them other cats talking shit, man, they can talk shit all they want. If they don't have any better talking points and actually gonna get to the point and actually prove shit and actually do some goddamn work, man, I'm not even interested in talking to them no more. Hey, you can do whatever you want, Typhoon the Reaper. The thing is, um, it's your opportunity. You don't want your opportunity, don't take it. Well, they have to think about it because if they come on, then I'm going to start asking them questions about what they know, and because it's kind of hard to Google shit while somebody's asking you a question. Chocolate City info. Um, I'm not going to break it all down to you. You have to do your own homework. The more you read about it, the more you understand about it. If you study East African corridor, you start to understand it. So I say Google is your friend. World Nomad, what's happening? No, I'm in the mood because I'm not normally I would be patient and sugarcoated. I'm not sugarcoating the shit today. So step into the breach. Um, get ready. You better know what the fuck you're talking about. Step into the breach. You better know what you're talking about. I call my full Patreon University, IBMOR University. Yeah, I need to concentrate more on that stuff because they're actually paying. If they're paying, and I feel bad because they're paying, and I'm not giving them their money's worth. So I need to. In fact, I scanned the last two chapters, and I need to start putting the lesson. In fact, lesson's going to be up. Next lesson that's going to be up tomorrow. Read Blood and Nostalgia. Okay, probably so. The way countries develop is the same way countries have been developing since the Industrial Revolution started. It all starts the same way. Somebody's got to help you. Somebody's got to invest in you. Somebody got to help you. Somebody has to kickstart your industrialization. If it doesn't, it's going to lay dormant. And they have been avoiding Africa for the last 20 years because Africa is a direct competitor. If you have a bigger continent that has potentially more people and could have potentially more people, if you give them technology, what's going to happen? Then there's going to be a problem for you. So Europe and the West has purposely underdeveloped Africa on purpose. Hell, if I was them, I'd have done the same thing because if I develop them, they're going to be a fucking problem, and I don't need a problem. But think now China is developing them because we know China saw an opportunity. So now Europe has a problem that they can't do anything about. Can't kill them all. If you kill them all, there's too many of them born. If they get technology and weapons, you have, basically you're going to be overwhelmed. So the thing is, that's why they're trying to make friends. In fact, that's what Soros told them. You got 30, $40 billion in credit, which ain't shit compared to what the Chinese are putting in. You better invest in West Africa and start making friends. That's what he's trying to tell you. Yeah, that's what Europeans say. You lend, you take it. It depends. There's three kinds of power. There's two are soft, whereas it's persuasion and wealth, and the last one is military. Military is the most difficult and last the least. I keep posting the link. I post the link. Where you conservatives at? The word is big smoke. The what I teach my kids is called please. I post the link. Why are you guys get hit me up on G plus when I post the link in the chat? I'm posting the freaking link. I, when I do these odd hangouts, man, with people that aren't used to it, man, I get all kind of issues. They AFRICOM didn't do very much under Obama. Nobody will host AFRICOM, which is why they're having an issue. That's how come they're still located pretty much in Stuttgart, Germany, because nobody wants to host them. They actually built a whole fort for them, installation for them in Ghana, but Ghana decided not to host them. Nobody wants that kind of nobody wants that kind of problem. So they don't have they don't have a continental host for AFRICOM. So it's a very small. It's not as major as you think. It's very small, actually. Black conservative academics that I respect. I'm sure the economists, the Derrida seem to be conservative. Most economists are conservative, but as far as talking heads, most of the black conservative talking heads, man, have to lie. Unfortunately, I've seen some centrists that I like, but uh, black conservatives. I think the only one would be Colin Powell. Is what could be considered a black conservative, but he's not a talking head. And there's a few others. I just can't think of them off the top of my brain because I really don't. And when I look at people, most times I don't look at them as conservative or liberal or anything like that. I look at people that tell the truth. If they tell the truth, you got me. Like Ron Paul is a fucking conservative. I love Ron Paul and Rand Paul. I like Rand Paul, and he's a fucking conservative. He's a libertarian. I like Ron Paul. I'd have voted for Ron Paul if he'd have ran, but he wasn't going to run outside the. He wasn't going to run because he wouldn't have made it. That it killed him. Now his son ain't well, not well. Well, his son is actually running. His son is actually younger. There's a difference when you get old. You don't give a shit. So Rand has to be a little bit more diplomatic, a little more centrist, because he's actually Actually a senator, so he's going to be a little bit more centrist. More John McCain, please. Don't make me laugh. He's better than Trump, but don't make me laugh. Ron Paul's not going to run because Ron Paul will not survive in administration because he's too honest. Unless he's going to invest in Kevlar. If you go to Hangouts, you should lead you to a link. You hit OK and you hit enter the Hangout. You should come on. If you don't know, go on YouTube and Google it. How do you join a Hangout? It should be a join button somewhere. Um, there were some black conservatives, a lot more than you think. Normally, black conservatives have to keep their head down. They have to. Very hard for black conservatives because Republicans have been so nasty. It's very hard for black conservatives to actually make it. And black conservatives actually get elected. They have to talk a whole bunch of negative shit to get elected. Uh, no, well, they're not conservative in anything. It's a stance. Well, it's talking points, basically. They were all centrist for the most part. If they're elected, they're centrist. They're not really conservatives. The real conservatives aren't going to get elected. No, it's more centrally. It's more face to face. Now the twerking and all the throwing it back and all that kind of stuff didn't happen. In fact, you can look at Soul Train. You look at the old Soul Train videos, especially the soul tunes. That shows you how we danced back in the '70s. The stuff is still up there. You don't have to wonder. Just look at Soul Train. Soul Train is pretty accurate. It's about how people danced. In fact, that's where we learned a lot of moves from Soul Train. Um, you have to look at the policies and see where they're going to lead you. Actually, what you really need is a socialist for this particular time, because a lot of times Larry Elder. Okay, Larry Elder. I'm gonna say it. Larry Elder is a coon. Okay, he was a coon when he was here in L.A. in the '80s and '90s, and he still is. Okay, Larry Elder needs it wherever he's at. He needs to stay out of L.A. because he come back to L.A. They're ready to lynch his ass. Okay. He can't come to the Larry Elder cannot come to the black community in Los Angeles and be good. All right. Yeah, I'm an independent voter too. I've been an independent voter since 1992. A white conservative can be more honest than a black conservative. That is the difference. White black conservatives have to kiss a lot of ass. Remember the butt? Oh yeah. Well, the butt was in the '90s. The butt was in the '90s. Doing the butt was in the, was in the was it no? Actually, butt was late '80s. Yeah, you're 3 years old then. Yep. Got a 32-year-old son, Bronze. Well, they have to have the same talk. Well, most conservatives have the same talking points because at least conservatives kind of stay on code, even though when you press them on it, it doesn't make any sense. Um, partially, partially is because they're responding to the environment. Uh, it could be genetic, and a lot of it, actually white women use more birth control than black women. They're delaying their birth. There's a whole lot of factors that go into that. It's probably too long to actually talk about, but they're delaying when they have kids. It's genetic. They're responding to the environment. They use birth control, so they're going to have a lower birth rate. I think black men are actually controlling the birth rate and for black folks more than women are because they're using actually black men use more condoms because of child support. Underrated darkness, what's going on? You got your camera on.
Oh, sorry about that. We gotta break the chains, man. We gotta break the chains. We gotta
Uh-huh.
break them chains. We ain't taking that shit, man.
Breaking the
What's
chains
up,
from what,
brother?
man? Breaking the chains from what,
Break
man?
the chains from the Jewish people, man, for what the Jews are doing to
Uh-uh.
our people.
What the Jews are
What
doing
the
to our
Jewish
people.
people.
It ain't the Jews
The
ain't alone,
Jews.
man.
Yeah, man, those Jews are doing some bad shit, man. We can't have that.
Yeah, can't have that, man. No, he's trying to get the stream put down. Yeah, so that happens in the open hangout. He's trying to, they're probably gonna come back and try to have a strike. All right. Black folks only tonight, folks. No, I think he's probably trying to get the stream flagged, but who knows? Because they didn't like the. I'm sure they didn't like the video I put up about white demographic decline. So they're probably upset about that, and probably upset about the immigration. So I'm not surprised. I put up a bunch of videos. If you have disagreement, this is if you're gonna disagree, this is the time to disagree. So I got 8 downvotes, so I'm sure Isaac P. Appreciate it. He probably was one of those folks. But I'm saying is that it's just black folks tonight only. I don't need white dudes coming in doing some funny shit. So if you're white, don't even bother, man. Unless you one of my regulars, don't even bother. A swastika is actually an old ancient symbol. Actually, the origins actually started in Africa and actually moved to India. So it's an old ancient symbol. I forget what they call it, but it's an old symbol. He just reversed the direction and put it up as a Nazi symbol of power. Yeah, I'm sure I did. You know, he started talking about the Jews. I said, "Oh, here we go." No, they're in the background because I can see the ticker going up. They're in the background. Yeah, Claude Anderson is. I don't know. I don't know if he's a conservative or not because he has progressive. He talks. He has some left. He has some right. I think he's more a pragmatic than he is one way or the other. But I think he does lean, what we would call a conservative. He does lean a little bit more conservative. The way they measure conservative nowadays. But um, I've never been able to pigeonhole Dr. Claude because he believes in civil rights. He believes in black preferences. Trust and believe he does. So I don't know if that's conservative or not. It's symbol actually a symbol of power. It's a power symbol because it's meant to it's a spiral that's meant to oh, there he is. Okay.
Hello, BGS.
Okay, I was getting ready to boot you, man, because I thought you were troll for a second. Go ahead.
Oh, hold up. Sorry, I'm getting feedback. Let me go ahead and turn that off.
No. Dr. Claude is not. It depends on what stance he on. What stance is he on?
Oh,
Ron Paul. Ron. If okay. If we going. If we going. Ron Paul is a libertarian. It depends on.
can you
Actually,
still hear me?
all of America is actually liberal. Okay. All America is liberal. But if you're going right or left as far as relative right and left, or relative conservative and liberal United States, Ron Paul is one of the few actual real conservatives in the country,
I'm hearing
believe
a
it or not.
lot of different.
Eh, Black
Actually,
folks only night, bro, because I
all of
don't.
America is actually liberal. Okay, all America is liberal.
Oliver, who are you?
As far
I'm
as
right here.
right and left,
Who are you, Oliver?
I'm in Los Angeles.
I said, who are you? Are you a subscriber? What's your screen name? Because I'm getting trolls tonight. Who are you?
Oh no, I'm here just to say thank you for your information
Okay.
and that you're really good at
Okay.
what you do.
Okay.
You know. Are you a subscriber? Yes, I've been a subscriber for you for about 8 years.
Oh, I ain't been around for 8 years. Okay.
Well, I've been around from hearing you.
Okay.
Well, what I do,
Mm-hmm.
I listen to you,
Oh,
Tommy, David
okay.
Carroll.
Oh, okay.
So kind of in that circle.
Oh, in that circle. Okay. Okay.
But we got two conversations going on. I can't really hear you that well.
Oh, okay. Well, well,
No,
thank
no. I
you.
said I've been listening to you for a while. So in the past 8 years, you kind of like in my circle of people I listen to.
Okay.
But you got two conversations going on. It's hard to hear you. I don't know
How
if
do
I'm
I?
talking to you or something else.
I don't know how to. Well, the thing is, you're listening to YouTube, so it is going to be hard to hear me. You got to mute YouTube. You got to pick one
Oh, okay.
feed.
Okay. Hold on. So in the past 8 years, you kind of like in my circle of people I listen to. Okay. Let me mute this other one. I'm sorry. But you got two conversations going on. It's hard to hear you.
You got to mute your YouTube feed. Otherwise, you're not going to understand what I'm talking about. Got to mute YouTube and listen to the Hangout.
Yeah, I got you. I closed it off. Thank you. Thank you. No, I've been listening to you for a couple of years now. So I'm like, what are your semi-regulars? I usually don't say too much in your chat, but I read the comments and listen to you. So I'll listen to just about everything you said. I just like the way you have your information.
Mm-hmm.
It's very thorough, and I learn a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Between you, David Carroll, Tommy Sotomayor, and a few other people, I learn a lot.
Okay.
Everybody else, I tune the hell out because they're talking a bunch of bullshit, talking out the side of their neck. These pro-blacks who don't even know what the old Black Panther Party was all about. So you can't even think of what they have to say because I know it's a bunch of bullshit. And I told my son who's 25, go back in your history and read your history, and then you'll know what to do for today. Because if you don't, you'll be lost. That's why I don't follow these pro-blacks. They wanted me to join? No. Because I used to be active back in the 70s? No. I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole because too much shit. Too much bullshit going on with them. Too much backbiting and infighting. It won't survive. Too many agents are in there and too many dumb people who come through there talking pro-black but doing the direct opposite.
Yeah.
That to me does not work. I can't deal with that, man.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. You can't go about it the same way because they're not going to allow it. At least,
no, because you can't give them information without them saying, "Well, what do you know? We've been around here." See, wisdom comes with age and knowledge of what you do around here. I don't care if you're a ditch digger. If you've been doing it for 60 years, you know how to build the perfect ditch in any kind of ground.
Yeah,
you know. Okay, you will know that you have experience. These idiots don't want to listen to people who have experience of what to do and how to do things.
Yeah,
they're not organized. Look at Black Lives Matter. Until everybody jumped on board with them and didn't really find out what they're doing until they read the platform, they were a gay anti-male group. They only come out when the cops.
They're also is organic.
There's another black crime, you don't see them.
Well, because they're as organic as AstroTurf. They're actually a fake organization brought in by George Soros.
Right, it's nothing but money. It's a money move.
No, it's not even money move.
It's a money move.
It's a political move because they're actually training the next group of politicians for power. So they actually want to. Want to actually bring the.
I'm 62, and I'll be dead by the time most of them get into office and into power.
Actually, you got one of them running for governor. I think is it Georgia? The Democratic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's actually already running.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll give them a chance to see if they're teachable. And some of the old heads get in there, the old, behind the scenes politician moves. Because my father was a mover and shaker for the politicians back here. He put presidents and mayors and governors in office. Okay, he's the back seat. Okay, not the one you see on TV, but the back. The basic ones in the back.
Yeah.
And I grew up on that from day one. He's a famous teacher over at Cal State Dominguez, Dr. O.W. Wilson. I'm his son, the scientist.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so, I remember him. Yeah.
I learned politics from him.
Yeah.
I learned politics from him.
Oh, I ain't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, that's my father.
Yeah.
He's alive and well, but he's very sick right now. He's up there in age, but he's still alive.
Oh, he's still around.
I'm trying to.
Glad to hear it.
He's got Alzheimer's right now, man. It's kind of hurting the family, but we're dealing with it right now. But
Yeah. One of the old soldiers, man, going way back. Reaper, you want to say something? Jump in. Or Big. If you Big, unmute. Everybody dropped off. Big, you're on. I guess everybody's just listening. All right. Go ahead, chat, since everybody's listening. You're Big, if you're trying to talk, I can't hear you, bro. Yeah, O.W. Wilson. I remember him, man. It's an old name, man. It's an old name. So hardcore soldier, though. All right, bro. Turn off your camera, otherwise I'm gonna boot you. All right. I think this is a troll, so I'm gonna boot him. All right. Gone. All right. No, yeah. I remember that's an old name, man. O.W. Wilson. So I ain't heard that name in a long time. Who's up? Who's on?
Yeah. I remember that's an old name, man. O.W. Wilson. So
you got to cut off your YouTube feed. Cut off your YouTube feed. You got your camera. You want your camera on?
Can you hear me?
I got you. You got to mute. Were you on speakerphone or what?
Yeah, my bad. Once.
Typhoon, you got to get in. I asked him a question. He didn't want. You don't have to talk over others. All you got to do is talk. Typhoon, you come back in. All you gotta do is talk. I'm asking you to talk. Okay, oh, Kevin will ask. If Kevin wants to come in, he'll ask. All right. So somebody's talking. What's going on in the chat? Oh, it happens, man. I get a lot of people dropping off. Okay. Who I don't even know who the dude is. No, that wasn't DeAndre. DeAndre is black in Japan. DeAndre been in. She knows how to get. Oh, okay. All right, Kevin. No, Golden Eagle. All you have to do is hit the link. So all you gotta do is hit the link. All you gotta do is hit the link and come on in. That's why I post the link. Hit the link, and it'll bring you in. Golden Eagle. And I've said it about 50 times. Hit the link and come on in. Everybody else is doing it. I see. Now Kevin's a pro. He'll tell me to email me. He'll ask for email if he can't get it rolling. I defeat the trolls. Thank you, pretty boy, pretty Tony. All right. So what's in the chat? Bob, what's going on, Bob? You're not a troll, are you, Bob? I put it up. You want me to email it to you, Kevin? I dropped the link for you. Unless you needed me to you can email me if you can't get through. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, sent you the email. Blacks need to do more than just get out and vote. Voting is just part of it. Black voting is not going to help you if you're not going to be active in between the times that you vote. Voting is all you're going to do is get people in. It's not going to help you very much. You're going to have to, like I said, the first place you should take over is your school board, which black folks don't concentrate on because that requires work. Show up at your PTA meetings. Show up at your schools. Tutor kids. A lot of that stuff will go a hell of a lot further than voting will. Because the reason that you don't get patronized by black folks is because you've been brainwashed by white folks to actually patronize their stores. What's up, Kevin? Oh, he dropped in and out. He'll be back. Political agenda is fine. The thing is, political agenda has to be more than just political. You have to have an action plan. Politics doesn't do any good. Politics is not going to do you any good. JD, who are you? If somebody turns on the camera, I'm going to boot you. The guy's got about 2 minutes to speak up because we're getting a lot of trolls tonight. Trump is a Jewish Zionist. He's neither. Trump is not a Zionist. Business guy. Trump's problem is he's an egomaniac. That's Trump's problem, but he's not a Zionist. He's probably more German and Prussian. I think he's Austrian. I think that's where his family comes from. In fact, most Zionists don't have their father. The father didn't belong to the Ku Klux Klan. So Trump's father was almost prosecuted for being in the Klan. I didn't remove you. Oh, okay. That's probably Bob. Okay. That's what's happening. Got a troll. No, I didn't remove. No, I didn't remove you. Somebody else on the panel actually removed you. The only thing is, once you're ejected, I can't put you back on. That's the only problem. Yeah. So yeah, we got. I have a lot of angry white trolls tonight. Yeah, Trump's father's actually in the KKK. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me start another one. How many people got ejected? Because somebody came in and ejected it. Let me start another one because yeah, trolls come in. The trolls come in and actually eject people. Actually, I actually put it up. Look up. Why don't you Google Donald Trump's father? Donald Trump's father and KKK. It'll actually show up. His father or grandfather, one of the two. Who are you, Tristan? Speak up for now, or forever hold your peace. Going once, going twice, gone. It's troll heavy tonight. I actually did a Richard Martin video where I actually talked about Trump's father. Yeah. Let me start another one. I'm gonna start another one in a minute. So let me come off of this one and I'll be right back. Yeah, the trolls are bad tonight. I don't know why, but they're bad tonight. Let me start another one. I'll be right back.